Okay, a new industrial revolution is officially here, and this time, India is positioning itself to be right at the heart of it. Today, we're going to dive into a really big partnership, a landmark deal between two giants, Reliance and NVIDIA. We'll break down how this alliance plans to build what they're calling sovereign intelligence for 1.4 billion people.
And this quote, this really gets to the core of it all. It's a powerful analogy from Prime Minister Narendra Modi that just perfectly captures the mission. For years, the old model was to export raw materials only to buy back the finished goods at a way higher price. Well, in our digital age, that raw material isn't cotton or ore, it's data. And the finished product? That's intelligence itself.
So here's the crucial point. The whole conversation has shifted. This isn't just about cool new technology anymore. This is about national economic sovereignty. It's about building the factories of the future, right here in India. But these factories won't be making steel or cars. They'll be manufacturing intelligence.
I mean, the two paths forward just couldn't be clearer, right? On one hand, you have the old model, where India's incredible amount of digital data gets shipped overseas, processed somewhere else, and then imported back as finished AI services. All that value, lost. The new model, this idea of sovereign intelligence, is all about flipping that script. It's about capturing that value by processing India's data in India and owning that entire value chain from start to finish.
So the big question is, how do you actually make a vision that big a reality?
Well, you create a strategic alliance, and that's exactly what this is. Reliance and NVIDIA have come together to build the foundational AI infrastructure that India needs to power this new industrial revolution from the inside out.
And this really shows you the sheer scale of the ambition here. We're not talking about a small pilot project. The goal is to start with a massive 1 gigawatt AI-ready computing facility. It's going to be powered by the absolute best technology out there, like NVIDIA's latest GB200 chips. And maybe most critically, it's all going to run on green energy, which sets a sustainable foundation for transforming huge sectors like telecommunications and energy management. But this partnership has a connection that runs way deeper than just tech and business. As Mukesh Ambani actually pointed out to NVIDIA's CEO, Jensen Huang, there's this link that's rooted in language and culture, and it speaks to the very heart of this entire mission. So in Sanskrit, there's a word, vidya. It means knowledge, science, learning. It's really the foundation of all understanding and progress. And I think you can probably see where this is going. As Mr. Ambani explains it, in Indian tradition, you first have to sincerely devote yourself to vidya, to gaining knowledge. When you acquire that knowledge, which is personified by the goddess Saraswati, then prosperity, represented by the goddess Lakshmi, naturally follows. Knowledge always comes before prosperity. Okay, so you've got this incredible infrastructure and this deep cultural mission, but how do you get that power into the hands of millions of developers, creators, and entrepreneurs? Well, the answer lies in the incredible power of open source. We've seen this movie before. Remember when Linux open-sourced the operating system? It just unleashed this global wave of innovation and software development. Well, today, open-source AI models like Meta's Llama 3 are doing the exact same thing for intelligence. They're creating a state-of-the-art foundation that absolutely anyone can build on, adapt, and make even better.
And what this does is create a powerful self-reinforcing cycle, a flywheel. It works like this. First, you build a national infrastructure. That allows you to process India's unique and massive data sets. That, in turn, helps you develop powerful, localized AI models. These models then empower a huge population of developers to build new apps and services, who then generate even more data and refined intelligence. And that new data feeds right back into the system, making the flywheel spin faster and faster and just accelerating innovation across the board. Which brings us right back to that core principle we talked about, from knowledge to prosperity. The ultimate goal here isn't just technology for technology's sake. It's a real, tangible economic outcome, making intelligence so affordable and accessible that it can uplift every single Indian.
Remember this number? This is around what Jio charges for a gigabyte of data in India. I mean, this radical affordability completely changed the game. It unlocked hundreds of billions of dollars in value, especially for small businesses and startups, who could suddenly compete on a level playing field. So, the billion-dollar question, really, is can they do it again? Can India create a Jio moment for artificial intelligence? Can they make access to cutting-edge AI so ridiculously cheap that it sparks a whole new wave of grassroots innovation and economic prosperity?
And that leads us to the final and maybe the most profound piece of this whole vision. It's about democratizing the very ability to create with technology. It's about empowering not just the specialists, but every single citizen.
Just think about it for a second. For decades, programming a computer has been a highly specialized skill. You had to learn these complex languages like Python or C++. It was incredibly powerful for sure, but it was only accessible to a pretty small slice of the population. But programming an AI, that's a whole different story. The programming language is, well, it's just human language. The language you're hearing me speak right now. If you can speak, if you can write, you can create. The learning curve isn't steep at all. It's intuitive. And that just throws the doors wide open for everyone.
This is the true revolution, right here. For the first time ever, the incredible power of a computer isn't limited to those who know how to code. It's now in the hands of every doctor, every farmer, every teacher, every artist, allowing them to directly participate in and shape the digital economy for themselves.
And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. By building its own intelligence factories, India isn't just solving a problem for its 1.4 billion people. It's actually creating a whole new blueprint for technological sovereignty, one that challenges the old way of doing things and could become a model for the entire global south. And maybe, just maybe, for the rest of the world too.